Mind just briefly introducing yourself and telling me a little bit about what you do?
Sure. My name is Gio White, and I am an e-commerce consultant. I've been in the space for about over a decade, working in different capacities, mainly on the brand side. So I spent over a decade in the apparel space, and now I'm working with a lot of apparel brands, basically doing the same thing that I did for most of my career as an operator, but now more as a consultant.
Awesome. There. Thanks for that. So we've been working with Gio. Started in I think like late May, early June, if I recall correctly, working with a footwear brand he consults on. It's been about 6-7 months or so now. Can you just briefly describe kind of what the growth has looked like in terms of like traffic, rankings, things like that?
Absolutely, man. So yeah, Kai and the team have absolutely crushed it for us on the organic side. Ever since working together, we're up 40% year over year with our organic traffic. And we went from the bottom of page one to the top in some of our most important keywords for this footwear brand. So it's been a very positive experience.
Cool. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun working on this project. I'm excited to see where it can go. Can you describe, I think, if I recall correctly, you were doing SEO for the brands or with someone else before that. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, I was subcontracting SEO to different vendors and trying to fill in gaps myself. And then I found you.
Cool. So yeah, just like, you said like subcontracting through vendors and whatnot, just kind of like Band-Aid solutions. How do you think the process has evolved since then? Like between essentially Band-Aid solutions and now full growth solutions?
For sure. So I think the biggest change is my involvement. I think before we partnered together, I was a lot more involved in the day-to-day, brainstorming content, trying to do keyword research, trying to find different writers for different content and article topics and stuff. So I was much more involved, and I'm not a subject matter expert. So there's just the reality that I wasn't probably the greatest person to be in the role, and also just a lot of my own time that I was, spending that I otherwise could have been spending on other things that I'm better at.
Now you have more time to spend on other channels or areas that you excel in. So have you been able to essentially help the brand grow in those? Like, have you been more effective in those channels now with so much time freed up out of SEO?
100%. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, for the client and for my own business, it's just really helped me to open up bandwidth and allocate it in higher leverage or higher ROI areas. And it's been a huge value add partnering with you.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Appreciate that. When you were kind of looking to essentially outsource SEO, and buy yourself back some time so you could focus on other areas of business, did you think an agency was the only route to go? Or were you looking at a long-term freelancer? Were you looking at hiring in-house? What was kind of the logic on that?
Totally. Yeah. I'm kind of averse to agencies. So I was certainly thinking a freelancer, somebody that I can just work with maybe more directly, that, didn't potentially bring all of the negative connotations of a agency.
Mm-hmm.
But after kind of following you, I think on what was Twitter at the time, but now is X, and kind of just seeing how you worked and, your results, I was definitely intrigued. And after meeting with you, I felt very confident in your ability to be able to kind of help me and the clients that I had.
Cool. Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, that means the world. You've talked about a lot about buying back your time, focusing on other areas of the business, right? And consulting. How much time do you think you spend right now per month with us, on actual SEO items?
Probably less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's very little. It's really light touch ever since partnering with you. You guys are full service. If I spend any time, it's just kind of reviewing content, which is always great. I have minimal feedback typically, so it's really, really light touch for sure.
Cool. Awesome, man. Yeah, that's kind of the goal with us. I mean, SEO is definitely one of those channels that is a part of your digital stack. Obviously, it's definitely not the most fun one to be spending a lot of time in. So that's good to hear. You under 2 hours, that's ideal. So based on where we're at now, looking to the year ahead, right, coming to the end of the year now, where do you see this brand in the next 6, 12, even 18 months down the road with regards to organic?
It's hard to say. I'd love to meet or exceed this year's numbers. I mean, if we can put up another 40% in the next 6 to 12 months with organic traffic, that would be amazing. I think SEO can maybe sometimes be a long-term tactic, or it might take a little bit longer to materialize. But I think certainly we've been partnered with this brand for 6 months, and we're really just starting to see the keyword rankings start to materialize. So from where I'm sitting, I don't know, but certainly if we could match what we've done together so far, that would be a really good outcome.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think still a lot of room for growth, I think, in the next 6 to 12 months for you guys and even beyond that. So excited to see how that kind of plays out. Just one last question. If anyone, like you said, you were already pretty averse to agencies, which is super common among e-com operators and for good reason. But if you had to say anything to like another potential brand who wanted to work with us, anything you might say to them?
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. I think it's low risk. Just you can be confident in Kai and his team's ability to deliver on what they say.
Cool, man. Well, appreciate that. Those are super kind words. And thanks for joining me today. Yeah, really appreciate your time. I know it's coming to the end of the year, so everyone's still tired from Black Friday, but appreciate you taking the time to jump on.
Of course, man. Happy to do it.
All right, thanks.